Where did you get the idea for the book? Where did this idea, because it's a crazy idea, right? A girl can talk to magical creatures, and then there's a unicorn stampede, and then there's some explosions, and then there's, I don't know if anybody's read it yet, but there's a scene where a truck is on fire, which is always tricky, right? So the idea for Pip came from a lot of different places. Pip, first and foremost, is a lot like me when I was younger, okay? And even now, she loves animals. I love animals. And I don't just love the parts where, you get to pet them and play with them. Those things are great. But I really also love taking care of them, right? When I was younger, I always wanted to know not just how to have a pet dog, but all the ins and outs of, knowing how to tell if your dog is sick, or how to tell if your cat is unhappy, or how to tell if your chicken has bumblefoot, which is an actual name of a disease that chickens can get. I know it sounds invented. However, my chicken has had bumblefoot. Has your chicken had bumblefoot? Well, if they get it, you just message me. I know how to handle it, okay? I've got you. It's totally cool, yeah. Anyway, I could really talk chickens all day. It's a problem. It's an issue. So Pip definitely came from all of those different parts of my life and all of those different parts of my personality. Loving animals, wanting to help with things, maybe sometimes not helping in the best way, even though you're trying really hard. And then the magical creatures just came from an absolute love of all things magical. I love reading fantasy books. Is that anybody else's favorite genre? Fantasy? Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's okay if it's not. Yeah, you love fantasy books? I like anything with magic in it. I like anything with explosions in it. I like anything with unicorns in it. And so it seemed like a pretty natural fit. I kind of just mashed all of those ideas together and was like, what does this look like? I'm making a book. I think it's, look at that. It's a book. It's Pip Bartlett's Guide to Magical Creatures. I wish the writing part was that easy. However, that's kind of all it is. When you have an idea for a book, you just kind of go about and you pick up all the things you like about it, all the things you want to tell a story about, all the things that excite you, that you're like, oh man, I can't wait to write about that. In Pip Bartlett, the thing that I could not wait to write about was the unicorn stampede. I didn't even know how it was going to happen. I just thought the phrase unicorn stampede was amazing, and I knew that was something I would want to read about, so it was definitely something I would want to write about. So I just take all of those ideas and I mix them up, and that becomes the book. The second question that I get asked most often is, how do you write a book? And the truth is that I write a long book the same way I write a short text message, which is one word at a time. Yeah? And it can take a long time to do. But as long as you keep thinking like, man, I can't wait to tell this story. I can't wait to see it be done. I'm so excited to share this with people. And you just keep writing and keep making it happen, you will finish a book. Does anybody in here write? Yeah, there you go. A few people, yeah. Very nice to see. Absolutely. So the thing about writing, and you guys as writers, you know, it can be really frustrating sometimes when you've been working on something for a long time and you're like, I've been writing for days. I've written half of a page. And you're like, oh, but I've been working so hard. I get it. I understand. But you have to remember that that's how it works. You have to just keep going and keep going. And even when you get tired, and even when you get frustrated, and maybe even when you get stuck, if you push through that, at the end, you're going to have a book. All right? It's very easy to stop when it gets hard, but that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes it great. Now, when a very small dog is running away very quickly from something, it's kind of hilarious and pretty cute, right? If I see a dog running, my instant reaction is always like, yes, come here. Come to me, because I love dogs. However, if something much larger was running at you, like, say, a 2,000-pound unicorn with the purest weapon in the natural world on top of his head, that might be a little more worrisome. I don't think I'd be like, come here. I'd probably be like, no, just keep going. So the animal that is based on my dog is named Regent Maximus. And who has the more peach-colored book? If you look on the bottom of it, there's a unicorn with rainbow-colored hair who's looking very worried. That is Regent Maximus. So Regent Maximus is a beautiful, glorious unicorn, and all the other unicorns in the book are very much the same way. Unicorns are majestic creatures, all right? They like to walk about and pose. Hello there. Don't I look lovely today? I'm a unicorn. Note my hair. They're very, very outstandingly beautiful creatures, and trust me, they know, just ask them. They would love to tell you about how wonderful they think they are. Regent Maximus, however, being afraid of everything, instead of that little trotting thing, is normally like little bits of straw stuck in his hair, shivering, running away from something. The thing he's actually most afraid of is the color blue, which is very bad on a beautiful day when the sky is bright blue, because then he's very certain it's coming for him. He's always like, it's everywhere, it's coming for me. So, very bad thing if you're a unicorn, based on my little dog. The other magical creature I want to talk to you about today, I'm going to tell you about 3, is the Fuzzle. Who has read the book? All right, a few people. So you guys are pretty well informed about the Fuzzle and how it's kind of a dangerous creature. You know what's up. Yep. All right, so the Fuzzle. The Fuzzle is kind of the main creature, the main problem in the first Pip Bartlett book, because the Fuzzle is very, very small and very, very cute, about that big, very, very fluffy, very, very adorable, very, very flammable. So the Fuzzle has this bad habit of whenever it gets excited or hungry or scared or tired or happy or alive in any way whatsoever, it tends to suddenly just burst into flame, just fire, fire, fire everywhere. Explode into flame. I mean, you know what? When something's on fire, it's pretty much just a concern across the board, you know? It's not a great thing. And the bigger problem, right? So the bigger problem is that Fuzzles really like to lump together and like cozy up to one another to sleep. However, they really like to do that in dark, quiet, warm places. And their absolute favorite place is your underwear drawer. That's the ideal place. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced putting on a pair of flaming underwear. However, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. I can't recommend it. All right, so it's one of those things that if you have Fuzzles in your house, you don't have any underwear. They're all gonna get burned up. It's gonna happen. So they're really considered more of a pest rather than a pet, you know? As cute as they are, you can't really just have them. You can't. I know they're adorable. Pip Bartlett, however, in the book, has a little bit of trouble telling the difference between a pest and a pet. When she sees the Fuzzles, all she sees is how adorable they are and how could anybody want to get rid of them? They're so cute. And the rest of the town is like, we would really like to keep our underwear. So she's not always quite sure where that line is. And honestly, I have sometimes had trouble telling where that line is as well, as somebody who loves animals. When I was very, very small, I was not that small. I was maybe 8 or 9, give or take. You know what? This is not my fault. I'm just going to tell you the story. So I was hanging out with a friend after school, you know, just waiting for my mom to come pick me up. And I was playing with her. We're outside. Everything's going just fine. And then all of a sudden, I see a cat who has caught a rat. I guess he's going to eat it. You know, I think that's what they do. And the cat is hanging there with the rat hanging out of its mouth, and it's not looking good. And I thought, this is terrible. This rat was just going about his day, just la, 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 la. Oh, and now I'm lunch. That does not seem fair. I do not want to allow that to happen on my watch. I can't. No. So I ran the cat off, and the rat was laying there, and it was not looking so good. He was still alive, but things were a little bit touch and go. It wasn't looking all that great. So I picked the rat up and I put it into my book bag and I zipped my book bag up and I put it on my back and took my ride home. And then I got home and I thought, all right, what do I want when I'm not feeling well? I want to lay down in a soft place and relax a little bit. So I took the rat out and I put it in a box and I put a blanket in the box and I was like, all right, little rat, hang on. You're going to be just fine. It's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. Just sit here, relax, sleep it off. I'm going to go have dinner. I'll come back to check on you. And I was feeling pretty good about myself because I had just saved this rat's life, right? I mean, that's a good day. So I go, and I'm going to go with my family. I sit down with my family for dinner, and we're sitting there, and the phone rings. It is my friend's mother, the mother of the person I was with when I found the rat. And my mom answers the phone. Hello? Yes, she's right here. She has what in her book bag? All right, I'll talk to her. Thank you. Jackson, is there a rat in your book bag? No, actually. There is not a rat in my book bag. However, my mom has done this rodeo before, okay? She knew exactly what was up. Jackson, was there previously a rat in your book bag who is now somewhere else in our home? Yes, that is accurate. That is true. That is indeed the case. But Mom, you don't need to worry. It's fine. Because come here, look. It's totally cool. I got the rat. He wasn't feeling so well, kind of halfway became lunch. But don't worry. I put him here. He's right here resting in this box. All right, Mom. The good news is he was in the box, and now he's not. So he got better. I did it. My mom was not as enthusiastic as I was about that. And the rat was just gone. I had we looked, believe me, my mom made sure we looked everywhere. We flipped over everything in the house. We looked in everything, on everything, behind everything. The rat was gone, okay? Until a few weeks later. I was sitting down with my family. We were watching TV. We were just sitting there. Everything's fine. La, la, la. And then the curtains began to kind of rustle a little bit. And then around from the side of the curtains came my old friend the rat. And he ran up them. And he ran across the top. Where he stopped and looked over at us as if to say, hey, I'm your friend the rat. And at that point, my mom is like, oh my God, he's alive, get him out, get him out. And I'm like, he's alive. And I don't care that he's alive. We had different opinions on what a joyous occasion this was. So we all leap up and we're running the rat out of the house. Get out, get out, get out. And he did get out. I never saw him again. He does not call, he does not write, despite all of my hard work to save his life, not once but twice, because my mom was about ready to smack him again. But I'm not always so good at telling the difference between a pest and a pet is kind of my point there.